So welcome to the lecture on essay writing. So like I mentioned over the GC, this PowerPoint presentation was the official PowerPoint that we used when I was still with JRooz. This was way back 2015, guys. Was it 2015? Where we devised the program for essay writing. And concurrent to that, we created the PowerPoint. And so this is now what we call the 7 essay approaches to argumentative writing here. So this is a 37 slide PowerPoint. So it's not likely we'll be able to finish it today, but we will stop at number 19. That's more or less in the halfway point. So in a nutshell, that is conforming to the demands of argumentative logic. Okay, remember that word, guys, logic. There has to be the element of logic. Okay, so let's begin. Every issue being raised in an essay requires a different approach. So it's case to case, guys. Some issues require a problem and solution approach or a cause and effect approach. So this is what we call the two-part question. Have you heard of that, guys? The two-part question? Of course you have. Right, guys? Have you? Have you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like what we just saw, right? More and more children nowadays are becoming overweight. What are the causes? And I forgot the second question. Wait, the second question was Fred's. What was the second question? Wait, I'm checking Fred. What are the causes and uh what could be done to solve this problem? Okay, that's a problem and solution approach. Two-part question. That's really an easy kind of essay, guys. Okay. Yes, I'll give you a copy of this slide. And then next, some issues require an approach where the writer outlines a series of one-sided linear arguments to express either an agreement alone or disagreement alone to a certain proposition. Oh, we need to change this, guys. You cannot argue one-sidedly on a disagreement. You can only argue one-sidedly on an agreement. Later, I will explain that. So this is one-sided. This is the most
Oh,
common,
oh,
uh,
oh. Ah,
uy, pa-mute. The most
yes.
common ability of people when it comes to writing. Mute, guys. Just, oh, Aaron is here.
We have there also. Ah, ah.
Sir JL, Sir JL Sir JL from the Maldives. Sir mute.
Kangaroos.
Sir
Okay, it's the
JL,
same.
Sir JL, Sir JL mute. Okay, all right. And then next,
Thank you.
Sir JL mute. Sir JL from the Maldives. Sir JL. Okay,
Sorry, sir. Duty pa.
okay. Then where are we? Some issues require a comparison of two sides of an issue. So this is the classic crossover. Woohoo! Wherein the writer might argue that both sides may coexist, or the writer may argue that it depends on certain circumstances when either of the two sides will apply. Or the writer may argue that there can be a compromise that will allow both sides of an issue to coexist. Or, which is there another one? The writer may argue that one side of an issue is better than the other side. There. So, Cams, what's this? Coexist. What's that? Camille. Camille. Cams.
Sir, I forgot. Is it
A,
B?
B1.
B1. Yeah.
What's this?
B2.
B2. This one is
The B3.
banana tree.
Banana
Okay.
tree. Yeah.
And then one side is better than the other side,
Kill.
which is
Eat two.
A2. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You're the best. Okay, guys. That in a nutshell, that slide summarizes it all. There. Okay. And again, let me update. There's no such thing as a one-sided disagreement. Okay. No such thing as a one-sided disagreement. Later, I will explain. Then we are now proceeding, I think, with the sample. So proposition nowadays, there's no longer a need for printed newspapers. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So there are agree arguments and there are disagree arguments. So for those who agree, they say newspapers are no longer important. So that's what you call the topic sentence, guys. Have you heard of that? The topic sentence? I'm sure you have. And then, of course, what follows the topic sentence? What follows the topic sentence? Camille, you are the worthy volunteer. What follows a topic sentence?
The first body, sir.
No, if you come up with a topic sentence, what should follow after that? Does anybody know?
Example, sir.
An
So, sir,
example, yeah. What else?
Sir, answering, ay sorry po. Sir, it's about answering the topic sentence. Parang why or how. Did you say
Why?
that?
It answers the question why.
Why?
Okay. Yung how, it answers the question, what you mean? There. What you mean? What you mean? That's how. Or it can give an example, right? It exemplifies. Or it can be followed by um a rationalization. That's the why there. And then here is the rationalization. Because we already have TV and the internet. There's another argument, guys. Newspapers are old news. And then that's another topic sentence. Pretend that's the second paragraph already. And then of course, after the topic sentence is we call it the supporting argument, guys. Supporting argument. So meaning all that newspapers contain have already come out on TV and the internet. There. So this one, guys, answers the question, what do you mean? That one answers the question, why? You like it? Yeah. So this one is what we now call the rationalization. This one is the elaboration. Later, we will cover that, guys. There's a third argument. Newspapers are not as handy as gadgets. True, right? They're so big and bulky. And then I think what the supporting argument will be an example. So that's what you call the exemplification. And then finally, if newspapers continue to be printed, then it wouldn't help the drive for environmental sustainability. So that's all of your agree arguments, guys. In agreement to the proposition, there's no longer a need for printed newspapers. Again, this is the rationalization. This is the elaboration. I think this is the exemplification, and then this is the hypothetical. There, those are the four kinds of supporting argument. Rationalization, answering why. Elaboration, answering what you mean there. What you mean? What do you mean? And then exemplification, of course, answers the question. What question does the exemplification answer, guys? What question? Deiki, what question does the exemplification answer?
Parang why of why na lang din siya, sir.
More precisely, it answers the question. Can you give an example? There, it gives that answer. And then the hypothetical, it answers the question, what will happen there? Okay, let's now go into the no arguments, guys. So those are the topic sentences and those are the supporting arguments. And then topic sentence. That's like 2 paragraphs already, 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs for a computer delivered test. You can write as long as that. You have the time. Then let's proceed to the other side of the issue. Okay. Oh, we have an example already, right, guys? All right. This is now an example of the essay. Introduction. Beginning at the turn of the last century, especially with the invention of the printing press, newspapers have assumed a central role in modern man's daily existence, satisfying man's craving for information. So this first sentence, guys, is what we call the hook statement. Okay. And then, however, because of massive developments in technology, printed news is claimed to have already seen its better days. So this second sentence, guys, is what we call the background information. Remember the background information. That's the most salient element, meaning it cannot be missing in the introduction. The hook statement can be missing, but the background information is always there. The background information is the rephrase of the question prompt. Always rephrase the question prompt. So that's what we call the background information. Then this prediction is certainly controversial. Yet this writer feels that all indicators point to this inevitability. So these two last sentences, guys, are what we call the thesis statement. So these elements of the introduction, guys, you will see it in video 19, in the private videos that I have sent to you. Video 19, there. Okay, don't worry, that will be part of the slide. So let's proceed to the first body paragraph. So as you can see through the thesis statement, then I am agreeing to the proposition. Then we're now proceeding to the first body paragraph. Topic sentence. Indeed, the power of TV and the internet have rendered newspapers inconsequential. Then we are now proceeding to the supporting argument, which answers the question why. This is because news breaks out in real time through these new medium. There will therefore no longer be a need to wait for the next day's paper just to come up to speed on already stale news. With 24-hour monitoring, both the TV and the internet are both even capable of video, giving viewers a more comprehensive eyewitness. So we're now proceeding to the second body. Besides, newspapers are certainly bulky and thoroughly inconvenient to lug around. Then that's a topic sentence, guys, and then the supporting argument will answer the question, what you mean there, the elaboration. What do you mean? This is in stark contrast to today's powerful gadgetry where tablets and cell phones, both visibly more handy, are now easily connected to the internet, where even newspaper entities have their equivalent websites. This results in a news reading convenience that printed newspapers cannot match nor override. And then we're now proceeding to the third body paragraph, guys. Ultimately, with continued newspaper printing, the environment will feel the impact. So this is now, guys, what we call the hypothetical. So hypothetical arguments always begin with if. So it's like an it depends, guys. With so much paper being utilized for the production of the printed word, the sustainabilities of trees and forest. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the if statement there. That's like the if statement, guys. There, that first phrase. The sustainability of trees and forests would continually be put under stress. So this is like the if statement, the condition. If there will be so much paper being utilized for the production of the printed word, sustainability of trees and forests would continually be put under stress. And even with paper recycling technology proving a viable alternative, this only succeeds in delaying tree cutting options, given that repeated recycling only works up to a certain degree before the end recycled product eventually becomes unusable. Okay, so the three arguments, guys, and then it's time to conclude. So the conclusion here, guys, is merely the summary of everything. Conclusion. In the end, the heydays of the printed newspaper have come and gone, and just like many other aspects of human lifestyle today, the old ways have already succumbed to the onslaught of technology, plus the high urgency of environmental sustainability. This writer thus fully agrees to the proposition. Okay, how many words is that? 304 words. Okay. So that's your essay. Any questions so far, guys? One-sided? Any questions? So this essay just agrees. It just agrees. Agrees to what extent question. So that's what we call the... Wait, what's this? Oh, this is the one, guys. Sidebar. The 4 ways of topic sentence expansion. So first is the rationalization, which answers the question why the topic sentence should be. The next one is, oh, that's the example. Newspapers are no longer important because we already have TV and the internet. The next one is what we call the elaboration, which answers the question, what do you mean? So newspapers are old news, meaning that all that newspapers contain have already come out on TV and the internet. And then the third the topic sentence expansion is the exemplification. So this answers the question. For example, there's strengthens the idea behind the topic sentence by providing two examples answering the question. For example, so newspapers are not as handy as gadgets such as tablets or cell phones. And then finally, you have the hypothetical. So speculates what would happen if the topic sentence were or were not to be. So an example of that, guys, is if newspapers continue to be printed, then it wouldn't help the drive for environmental sustainability. That's the if statement over there. Daiki, you have a question?
Yes, sir. So, kailan po mas ginagamit si hypothetical po?
The answer to that question depends. So it depends on the topic sentence there. But the hypothetical is really a powerful argument. Like for example, you can actually use that in the real world. Like, I wonder where am I gonna go? Am I gonna go to the US or am I gonna go to the UK? And then the response to that is a hypothetical. If you would decide to get to the UK, then you wouldn't need to take the NCLEX. But if you were to go to the US, then you would need to take the NCLEX. That's the hypothetical. The if statement. It's powerful, guys. You can always use the if. The if it's so powerful.
Conditional, sir.
I am sorry.
Mga conditional sentence po.
The conditional sentences. Yeah. So,
Mm.
uh, remember that conditionals always use the modals would, could, may, might, shall, should. So hypotheticals are statements that there are fireworks ongoing in Patel. Hypotheticals modals are statements that express possibility but not yet the reality. That's why those hypotheticals, they use modals, which express exactly a possibility but not the reality. Would, could, may, might, shall. Yeah. But there are certain arguments that require rationalization comes out quite a lot. Why? That's why. What do you mean always comes out? See, they're all very common, guys. But the power is really the hypothetical because you're looking into the future, guys. And you're anticipating something that would happen. Here. Diki, you had a question again? Go ahead, go ahead.
No, actually, it was already answered. So, kasi ang question ko, sir, is good example po siya for yung question na parang saan siya mas magagamit in the future, mga ganun po, which is you already answered.
Mm. You can always use the hypothetical. For example, the question is, for example, what's that essay on obesity, guys? What are the causes of obesity and what are the effects, right? What are the causes of children being overweight and what are the effects? The effects now go into the hypothetical, guys. Yeah. Do you follow? Any more questions? Remember, guys, 2015, that was UK. UK was the only available option at the time. Writing was at band 7 that time. That's why writing was so important to all review centers. That's why we went into this very technical aspect of writing. But now times have changed. 2017, they began to lower the standard for writing to 6.5, guys. And then the US suddenly opened up. So all of a sudden, speaking now becomes the point of emphasis. Writing has been relegated and reading has become a point of emphasis. Okay. That's why
Sir,
I do not
question.
discuss these things. Yeah, go ahead, Cams.
Sir, does the hypothetical part has to be in a separate sentence? Because the rationalization is the first body, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is the
It can be, yeah,
elaboration.
it can be
So it can be
anywhere. It can be anywhere.
on a separate paragraph. It can be
Yes, yes, yeah.
anywhere.
It can be anywhere.
Okay.
Ultimately, the answer depends on your topic sentence. What's your topic sentence? Because, for example, the question is, God is real. To what extent do you agree or disagree? And then your topic sentence is, the existence of God cannot be proven because he cannot be seen. Right? That's your topic sentence. It really depends on the topic sentence, guys. So that kind of topic sentence requires an elaboration. What do you mean there? That's the elaboration here. Do you follow, guys? It depends on the topic sentence. For example, my topic sentence is the existence of God is not real because evil is very much alive in the world. The kind of expansion that you need for that is the example. For example, do you see? Children are dying every day in Israel and in Gaza. Where is God? Ganon. Do you follow, guys? The hypothetical, all of these guys are just body paragraph. All of them are body paragraph. You can also use the hypothetical for the conclusion if you want. There are fireworks in Pateros. You can use the hypothetical for the conclusion if you want. For example, your conclusion is something like, if therefore, in conclusion, this writer feels that the days of the newspaper are now at an end. If we continue to publish newspapers, then it would no longer see, that's the if statement. It will no longer see any more patronage from the general public. That's a hypothetical statement. The if. All right. Like you want to get the iPhone 15 titanium. If we get the iPhone 15 titanium, we're going to be paying for that for 2 years at this cost. There. You're looking into the future. It hasn't happened, but you are projecting what will happen in the future. So many questions. I love it. People are asking about the topic sentence expansion. Guys, just stop me if something comes in mind. We will now proceed to the direct question essay. Also known as the two-part question, guys. Two-part question. It's the same. So this one is also very straightforward. Economic progress is often used to measure a country's success. However, some people believe that other factors are more important. The two questions are, what other factors should also be considered when measuring a country's success? And do you think one factor is more important than the other? Wow, it's an economic question, man. Okay. What's your opinion? In class, I would ask for the opinions of the students. What do you think? There. Like, what's the GDP of the United States, guys? That's around $25 trillion a year. Wow, man. What's the GDP of the Philippines? We're lucky if we ever hit $200 billion a year. Can you believe that? How far the output of the United States is from the Philippines? There. That's what you call the economic measure, the output, the gross domestic product. Rate of literacy is also possible. The employment rate is also possible. All those are also possible indicators. That's in answer to the key mentioned literacy rate and employment rate. And then, so you answered other factors, guys. And then the second question now becomes a tricky one, wherein you're going to argue which one is the most important among them all. There. Do you follow, guys? What other factors, guys? Health factors. How do we measure health? The mortality and morbidity rate. How do you measure health? The bedside occupancy rate. Is that how you measure health? Nurses. How do you measure health in a country? Does anybody know? Life expectancy. Yeah. Okay. I think there's a reason why we always measure it with GDP, guys. In the end, that's the most important. We just have to justify it. So let's look at what other factors are important and is one factor more important. So literacy rate as mentioned by Deiki. And then that's the rationalization because education is the key to the future. Then life expectancy. Okay. Then Morbidity rate. Okay. Diseases block productivity. Uh, this one answers the question, what do you mean, right? You can also answer the question, why? A third argument is other financial measurements. And then this one answers the question, what do you, for example, so wage rate, you mean savings rate. What savings rate? What's that savings? I don't understand. I don't know what that is. We don't know that concept savings. Okay. We're living a hand to mouth existence. Yeah.
We don't have that.
We don't have that. There's no such thing. No such thing in the Philippines of savings rate. And then finally, if a country is dependent on foreign investment, so that's the hypothetical, guys. Then the FDI figures will be important as well. Okay. So again, these are examples of the elaboration, the topic sentence expansion. This one is rationalization, answers the question why. This one answers the question, what do you mean? This one answers the question, for example, and this one answers the if question. And then is one factor more important? All factors are notable indicators. Oh, it answers again the question why. Wow, what a solid slide, guys. It's still conforming to the topic sentence expansion element because all rates relate to productivity. Then, however, the most important is money. Okay, all measurements will improve only when there's money to begin with. Oh, that's the end of the argument, guys. What else are we gonna talk about but money? How else will the rest of the measurements improve without money? Right, guys? That's why we measure it by GDP. Right, guys? Can you imagine 25 trillion versus 250 billion dollars? Can you imagine the differences between those? Here, we're only at a quarter trillion. In the US, it's at 25 trillion. So, moral of the lesson, fly to the USA. Fly to the USA. And then we'll just look at that in an essay, guys. The debt rate. Yeah, the debt to GDP ratio. Oh my God, what's our debt to GDP ratio? I think for every peso that we earn, 60 centavos goes to debt servicing, guys. Because we are heavily in debt. Our level of debt is the highest in our country's history. Nearly 14 trillion pesos. That debt level was doubled during the time of COVID. Debt to GDP ratio. What else is left, guys? 40 centavos out of every peso. That's little money. Also, guys, let's read the essay quickly. More often than not, whenever talk of a country's development is concerned, the mechanism being used as basis in that country's gross output as encapsulated is, that should be it, encapsulated in the gross domestic product percentage. However, there are those who believe that other benchmarks should be given equal or even greater regard as to the indicator of a poor picture of a country's progress. So guys, all of that is the background information. That intro did not contain any more hook or did not contain any more thesis statement. And for study paragraph, admittedly using GDP figures as basis for our country's success makes sense. This is because rising productivity mirrors rising wealth, wherein greater production is compensated correspondingly. If a farmer reaps more crops, then he has more products to sell. If a worker acquires new skill, then this results in more money-making output. So, however, there are those who argue that other parameters should be considered. Some people suggest that the literacy rate is a better gauge, given that having more education means higher salaries. Likewise, health indicators such as morbidity rates are also recommended for the same reason that healthy individuals are earning individuals. Other financial instruments are suggested as well, such as the savings rate or even an existing minimum wage being imposed. Then this is the part where I need to talk about which one is more important. Notwithstanding, practically speaking, the measure of any other statistics all depends on money. How good would the literacy rate be when children cannot afford school to begin with? The same can be said for health, wherein lesser wealth results in more sicknesses. The savings rate would always be low without money, and the minimum wage could only increase with a strong economy. This all informs therefore why GDP percentages should be and are actually used as basis for progress, with this rate being monitored. Then, conclusion. To conclude, the definition of progress is the definition of money. The conclusion is just the summary, guys. And with significant liquidity being present, literacy rates would be higher. People would be healthier. There would be greater savings, and salaries would increase. All measurements are money bound. The GDP rates are what matter most among all the other measurements. So the two-part question or the direct question, guys, is really similar to the persuasive essay earlier, which we now know to be the A1, right? A1. A1 essay. You just answer the question straightforwardly, come up with a number of arguments, and make sure that every supporting argument is either a rationalization or an elaboration or an exemplification or a hypothetical. So far, so good. I'm sure when it comes to the crossovers, guys, the questions are gonna be coming. Okay. Directors of organizations are usually older individuals. However, some people feel that young people make better leaders of organizations. This is now what we term as the classic crossover essay. If you remember the to what extent question earlier, the question was nowadays newspapers. Does anybody remember the question exactly? Nowadays there's no longer a need for printed newspapers. To what extent do you agree or disagree? This one now, guys, is a different kind of to what extent question. It's a crossover. The one earlier was a one-sided to what extent. This one is a crossover. Comparing older and younger people. Who are better directors of organization? All right, guys. Is that clear? It's a crossover. Do you see? Do you see that crossover marker alone? However, that is already very clearly indicative of a crossover proposition. That means, guys, in one paragraph, you'll be talking about one side, and in another paragraph, you're gonna be talking about the other side. And then you will need to have a third component, which is now the problem solver, thereby making it the three-step tango. So the crossover entails a three-step tango. So let's look at the bullets, guys. Yes. Younger people are better leaders. Yes. Young people inspire fellow youth. Then, because they prove that the young ones can do it. Young people are energetic. They can work tirelessly. Young people are updated in technology. MS Office, new app. Should mention their artificial intelligence. Yeah. we should also mention their young people are innovative thinkers, like what Mandi said. And then there's the if statement at the end. If young people were to be the leaders, they'd bring the future today. Okay. Topic sentence. Then let's talk about no, meaning older people now, guys. Right? Experience is gold. Guys, let me point out. To what extent do you agree or disagree to this statement? Some people feel that younger people make better leaders of organization. Don't get lost, guys. You are agreeing or disagreeing to that statement on young people. So if you agree with that statement, then you're talking of young people. If you disagree with that statement, you're talking of older individuals. Do you follow? Is that clear, people? The older individuals are experienced, and then the rationalization answering the question why. Because experience cannot be fully taught. And then older people are always the wiser amongst us. And then this one should answer the question, what do you mean? In other words, the elaboration. So the elaborating statement is they have fewer errors and they have fewer insecurity. And then the third topic sentence is older people are more stable and matured. So let's try to answer that with a, can you give me an example or an exemplification? They don't panic easily. Then the hypothetical guys, if older people were to be the leaders, they bring stability to the job. Okay. So since we have very clear topic sentences for each side of the issue, guys, the agree arguments, the disagree argument, what you now have is a classic dilemma. This is now a dilemma, and a dilemma requires a solution. That's why the third step becomes mandatory to conform with the demands for logic. Okay. Whatever your opinion is, should conform to the logical problem solver. Okay. So now, guys, we are now going to investigate the middle of the road essays. Today, we now call this as the B style. The B style. Right? B style. Okay. B for balance. Yes, arguments are strong. No arguments are strong. This is such a problem. I cannot decide. I can't choose between the two. Okay, let's investigate what are our options. So, let's look at this one first, guys. Leadership is a strong determinant of success or failure in a collaborative endeavor. That's the hook statement, guys. Hence, the question of who best to lead a group of people is always one of primal importance. That's still the hook, guys. Incorporation is no different. And a question arises to whether older or younger company directors are best suited for the critical task. That's the background information. Indeed, this issue is worth investigating, especially in this highly globalized climate. That last sentence, guys, is now an element that we call the forecast statement. For giving the reader a forecast into what you intend to do in the essay. And so what you're telling the reader is it's worth investigating. Forecast statement. So the missing element here now is the thesis statement, which was not included. Remember, the only mandatory element is the background. Everything else can be absent. Okay, it's a matter of style. Okay, guys. So we're now going into the bullets that you saw earlier, guys. It's not difficult to see why many people accord older people respect. Experience is indeed gold and cannot be fully taught and trained into us. For every past event, it brings a unique lesson only the bearer of the event holds. It's because of this that older, more experienced individuals make fewer errors, and this certainly saves the company time and money. Older people are also more stable and matured, and they do not panic needlessly, always being a situation with emotions in control. Time for the crossover, guys. Notwithstanding, the rapture of youth can be equally of key importance to a company. Like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is young. How old is Elon Musk? 50? Can somebody Google? I really want to know. Let me check, guys. Guys, can somebody beat me to the Google? Elon Musk age.
He's
How old is
52
he?
years old, sir.
52. Only 52. Okay. Joe Biden is 80. Notwithstanding there, young leaders are energetic, inspire young employees who often make up a huge bulk of the workforce. Apart from this, young leaders are likewise technologically savvy in various programs like MS Office and Skype, for example. Oh, that was the time of Skype, guys. There wasn't even Zoom yet. All crucial in everyday business operation. And owing to these, young people would bring the future to a company as early as in the now, thus leapfrogging development many years forward. So, guys, the interesting part is the third step. What are we gonna do? Okay, third body. Clearly, the old and young are equal pivotal contributors to a company, but evidently, to decide between the two, it would depend on the company itself. If the company is youth oriented, such as tech companies like Google, a younger director would be most apt. However, the company were to be fully traditional and needing a stable status quo, such as in the oil industry, then more experienced company directors would be best. That is now the it depends. During the time of JRooz, we call this the qualifier. So it depends is the B2 style. It answers the question, solves the problem. It depends on the company itself. So that having been resolved, it's time to conclude. Summary. The young can be just as adept as the older company directors, especially in companies that are youth-oriented themselves. 334 words, guys. The qualifier, middle of the road. In IELTS Einstein, we call this as B2, the B2 style. Remember, the third body is the critical component. It's the element that resolves the controversy, meeting the need, meeting the demand, conform to logic. There. Any questions, guys? You like that? It depends. That's so nice. It depends. Do you prefer? Is it better to watch in a movie, a theater, or is it better to watch online? That really depends on my mood. Sometimes I really feel like, do you see, guys? It really solves a lot of problems. Sometimes I really feel like watching in a theater, the big theater experience. But sometimes, when I'm too tired to go out, and I would just watch online. Oh, cat loves the one-sided. Okay. Lucky for you guys if you get the one-sided. Like that question on obesity, right? Nowadays, more and more young children becoming overweight. And so, what are the causes and what are the solutions? That's a two-part question or direct question essay. That's very one-sided. Oh, the Killenbury is coming later. Is that clear, guys? You love it? Don't worry, you'll get the slide. Okay, time to move on. And then guys, if we're going to the other styles, then we will have the same first body, the same second body, but the problem solver is different. Third body paragraph. Clearly, the old and young are equal pivotal contributors to a company, and possibly a balance could be attained if the chairman, despite being young, would be duly surrounded by advisors who are duly older and experienced so as to ensure equilibrium. Camille, what's this? What's this problem solver? What is that?
Compromise.
What's that, Camps?
Is it a compromise, sir?
The compromise. So nice, so smart. Maybe Elon Musk should be surrounded by older people so that he wouldn't be so childish. Right, guys? The conclusion merely summarizes. In the end, with stability combined with a strong eye on the future, the best of both worlds have emerged, and the concerned company will be primed to reap the promises of a global world. Still the same essay, guys, but the third body was different. We call this the resolution. In IELTS Einstein, we call this the compromise. The B3 style. Any questions? Same argument. Any questions, guys? You love the compromise? Okay. No questions. You just type in your questions, guys. Let's now look at the third middle of the road, guys. Still the same introduction. If we could repeat the B3. Look at it again. There. So the old and the young are equal pivotal contributors to a company, and possibly a balance could be attained if the chairman, despite being young, like Mark Zuckerberg, for example. Mark Zuckerberg is how old? Is he 45? Check. Mark Zuckerberg. Age. He's 39 years old, guys. So young. And he's a billionaire. And you keep supporting Facebook. Come on, people. And then being young would be duly surrounded by advisors who are duly older and experienced so as to ensure equilibrium. He's so young. Just 39. Wow. Incredible. Let's look at the founders of Google. They must be around the same age, guys. Google founders age. Larry Page is, oh, Larry Page is already 50. He's already 50, guys. Sergey Brin is, what's the age of Sergey Brin? Born 1973, so 50. Also 50. Correct, guys? 1973, yeah, 50. Also 50 years old. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg, so young. Okay. Any other question? And let's now proceed to the coexist. So same intro, same first body, same second body. Let's look at the third body. Clearly, the old and young are equal pivotal contributors to a company, but evidently, if to decide between the two would pose problems, then hiring authorities may decide to hire a person, even a young one, who manifests the best of both worlds. A person whose youth ensures a contemporary attack and whose maturity keeps the company stable. So smart. That's the coexist, guys. In JRooz, we called it the straight coexist. So one person who displays the attributes of both the young and the old. So smart. The the rest are Bill Gates is how old is Bill Gates? Warren Buffett. The rest are old. Mm, Bill Gates is guys. What's his age? Not coming out. 1955. So 45 plus 23. He is 68 years old. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg is only 39, man. Okay. Let's go into another one, guys. We're about to end. This is now the classic kill and bury. Apart from ensuring healthy profits, businesses also have social responsibility. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Yes, argument. Guys, it's a crossover. Did you see? Profit, social responsibility. Crossover. Two sides, guys. Maybe it should have both, right, guys? But what we're gonna do here is the kill. So they should have social responsibilities because they should give back to society. Then why is the question? Because society gave to the company. And then giving is a human attribute. So the question is, what do you mean? And then the answer is humans are sharing space. And then givers are remembered. So for example, is the question, and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And then hypothetical, if companies give back, customer loyalty is created. Let's look into the no argument, guys. Oh, it's animating. The topic sentences are animating. And then let's proceed to the no argument. Giving back is a government domain. Okay, so why? Because companies are not charity. Abusing free services is also a human attribute. So what do you mean is the question. So people pretend to be in need. And not all givers are remembered. For example, that's a question. Could you give an example? In many faceless NGOs are unknown. And then hypothetical, if companies give back to society, it will end up neglecting its own, its loyal people. So guys, if you notice in the no arguments, they are a direct refute of the yes argument. Do you see, guys? Remember, I think I mentioned it a while ago, guys. Agree or disagree. You should always start with the agree. Always begin with the agree. No exception to that rule, guys. Always begin with the agree. If you don't have the agree argument, then the essay is missing half of its content. Do you follow, guys? That's why there is no such thing as a disagree essay. A disagree essay begins with an agree before proceeding to the disagree. Is that clear, people? I always would like to emphasize that. There's no straight disagreement. You can have a straight agreement, but there is no straight disagreement. If you disagree, you have to first begin with agree before you disagree. All right? Okay. Try not arguing the agree, guys. You're gonna score a 6.5 or a 6. Crystal clear, huh? There's always an agree. Always an agree. Okay? You cannot disagree to nothing, guys. You cannot disagree to nothing. You have to first cite the agree before you disagree to it. Don't forget, please. Let's see how that works out, guys. The refute. In Einstein, we call this the kill. A2. A2 style. So this is how it looks like, guys. Introduction. Corporate social responsibility has now become such an oft-quoted buzzword in corporate circles. And because of this, people have now come to expect that today's companies are obligated to give back. Indeed. So this, guys, is the hook. And then this is the background. This one is the forecast. This is the thesis statement. This writer strongly feels that despite many arguments in approval by many, giving back should never be viewed as mandatory. So in this essay, I am disagreeing. Is that clear? To what extent do you agree or disagree? I am disagreeing. But I remember the cardinal rule. We always begin with the agree. So first body paragraph, guys. Admittedly, defenders of corporate social responsibility have their passionate opinion. Firstly, they cite that profit should be returned to the people in due kind, for the said profit emanated from the people to begin with. Likewise, it's argued that sharing is uniquely a human attribute, not seen in most animal species, and should thus be upheld by companies. Lastly, there are many businessmen who have gained praise and fame for their acts of philanthropy, such as Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. These men and the companies they run have carved their name in people's hearts, ensuring their legacy as business entities with a pure heart. Time now to refute, guys. Nonetheless, this writer feels that all these arguments do not certainly hold any water. That's the idiom. Your argument doesn't hold any water, meaning it's not solid, guys. Your argument does not hold any water. To begin with, extending assistance and aid to communities is not within the domain of private entities, but is something exclusively delegated to government, not to be escaped from by seeking private sector support. Meanwhile, while it is true that altruism is strongest in human beings, so is deceit, where humans pretend to be in need even though they really are not. Community aid can thus be abused. Finally, the fame of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett is not mirrored in many of the noble NGOs who are all largely unknown. Being charitable does not automatically translate to fame or good corporate PR. Clearly, viewing social responsibility as a duty cannot be fully justified, and companies are best advised to be more prudent with the hard earned profits they have managed to acquire. There are, after all, other aspects of operations that deserve greater attention and funding. In my opinion, corporate social responsibility is never a given. How many words? 323 words. The refute. The refutes. Any question? Aaron, in our 20 essay regimen, guys, we discussed the kill and bury. This is like the bury. Do you see that? There are other aspects of operations that deserve greater attention and funding. That one could be a third body paragraph when you just elaborate that. Like, for example, right? Elaborate or exemplify. Workers deserve a raise in their salaries. That's other aspects of operation. Or companies could engage further in research and development so as to even improve their product further, such as what is constantly being done in Apple. There, that argument can be a third body paragraph, which now represents the bury. But during the time of the construction of this document, guys, the kill and bury was not yet in existence. Okay. Maybe we should have a lecture on the kill and bury because that's really a beautiful structure. And then this one, this is nice, guys. This is what we call the triple tap. So it's the same intro. Look at how this works. First body. To begin with, it is said a portion of the profits should be returned to the people in kind. People say this is because it was the support of the consumers themselves that made profits possible. And then it was immediately followed by its corresponding kill. However, extending assistance to people and the communities is actually a government domain and a government responsibility. And to serve its people is all the government, not private entities, is expected to do. That's what you call the triple tap. The tap, it's a tap. You begin with the yes argument and immediately counter it with the no argument. And then in the second body, we will once again begin with the yes argument. Likewise, it is claimed that giving is uniquely a human attribute, a human natural act. In the animal kingdom, people attest that it's only human beings who have shown a capacity for apathy and altruism in a level unmatched. Immediately followed by its corresponding refutes, counter, or kill argument. Notwithstanding, many people abuse such charitable acts, pretending to be in need but actually taking advantage of free gifts. In other words, abusing charity is also a characteristic human attribute. And then when we segue to the third body, guys, we begin again with another agree to be followed by its corresponding disagree. Lastly, people claim that if companies give back, a mutually beneficial cycle results. In other words, isolating a share of profits back to the community would foster greater loyalty among the consumers, and this loyal clientele will willingly support the country even more. But here's the kill. If companies prioritize a cycle of giving, it is in danger of neglecting its very own employees, and a cycle of giving might be better seen internally because the loyalty of employees is far stronger than that of that is the tap style, guys. Tap. In this case, since there are three body paragraphs, it's a triple tap. Conclusion, in totality, for companies to embrace CSR, supporters argue that this creates nothing but advantages for all concerned parties. But as this essay shows, any romanticized notions of giving back to society is just exactly that. Nothing but silly romanticism. To give back, this writer feels, is ultimately detrimental. The triple tap. You like that, guys? Oh, nice. Can you imagine how you begin with the yes, follow it with the no, begin with the yes again, follow it with the no, begin with the yes again, follow it with the no. Triple tap. So nice. Yeah, Mandiki, question? That one is so nice. You should try that sometimes, guys.
So this is a no-brainer question. So actually, ang question ko
Mm-hmm.
is tatlo kasi you made three body. So,
Yeah.
is it necessary, I mean, is it required to do a three body? Although, sabi niyo nga, it's a triple tap. So, kailangan ba
Mm-mm.
talaga na tatlo? Hindi ba pwedeng dalawa lang?
Pwede naman dalawa lang.
Ano,
Kaya lang, remember, it's a computer delivered test if that's what you're gonna take, right? I mean, you should just as well maximize the time. There's no prohibition on writing 1,000 words if you wanted to, Ma'am Daisy. Especially for you, I'm sure you write very fast, right, Ma'am?
hindi po.
Like the minimum is just 250 words, but just have fun with it, guys. Make it a really strong essay. I think when I took the exam, I wrote around 700 words, maybe. Nice, right, guys? Triple tap. Oh, questions are coming. Oh, it's a wow. Wow. Yeah, the triple tap. Let's try that in a free essay, guys. Okay. Oh, nice. The triple tap. Let's see what's coming. Oh, the point by point, guys. I don't think we should do that anymore. Yeah, I'll have a free essay. Uh, oh, guys, I'm imparting to you my neurons. So JM is asking if you can have some of my neurons. But that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm imparting my neurons. that is the that is the essential attribute of the human race, guys. We are capable of imparting wisdom, right, guys? And that is made possible because of language. Without language, I don't think we could ever do that, right, guys? Can you imagine all the wisdom of the ages? We have access to them. Oh, can I take your exam? Yeah, gladly. Give me the Mission Impossible mask. You know, the one that Tom Cruise wears. Okay. I don't think we should go to the point by point anymore. Oh, sidebar. What's the sidebar? The elements of an introductory paragraph. So again, guys, you can see this in the 19th video 19. The hook, an anecdote, a definition, a premise, a provocative rhetorical question, an interesting fact, a backgrounder, or a historical account, all as regards to the central topic of the proposition, the purpose of which is to attract the reader's attention and to ease the reader smoothly towards the proposition. And the background, oh, it's a paraphrase at the time. A paraphrase is really a better statement, guys. It's the paraphrase. Yeah, that's a more accurate term. A rephrasing of the given proposition, giving the reader an idea as to the very purpose of the writing. What issue is to be discussed? Where the controversy lies? What the conflicting sides are? Or what the problem to be resolved is. In simple terms, guys, the paraphrase is just paraphrasing everything in the question prompt. That's the paraphrase. Okay. The only mandatory element in the introduction. The forecast statement, a peek into the body paragraph, including the scope and coverage of the writer's treatment of the given issue. So, like this writer is going to look at both sides of the issue and will determine a amenable compromise to this controversy. That's a forecast. Finally, there's the thesis statement, a statement of the writer's opinion. That's in video 19, guys. So the sample is corporate social responsibility has now become such an oft-quoted buzzword in corporate circles. That's the hook. Because of this, people have come to expect that today's companies are obligated to give back instead of just being exclusively profit oriented. That's the paraphrase. Indeed, the competing viewpoints are worth investigating. That's the forecast. But this writer strongly feels that Despite many arguments in approval by many, giving back should never be viewed as a must. That's the thesis statement. So again, guys, that's in video 9. Can you imagine how technical our discussion was in writing before, right, guys? But now it's no longer as important. Speaking is the king. We gotta get that speaking done, man. We cannot compromise on the speaking. It's gotta be a 7 or bust. 7 or bust. Of the 4 elements, only the hook and paraphrase should be viewed as mandatory. Okay, they included the hook, guys. Okay. Okay. What else is there? All right. Oh my God, this is the point by point, guys. This is really tough. This is really just look at how it goes, guys. The point by point, guys, takes a look at two sides of the issue and examines the similarities between them. For example, going back to this question on young and older individuals, there is a similarity between the young and the old experience, right? Young CEOs are greenhorn, older CEOs are highly experienced. Respectability. These are arguments that apply for both sides, guys. This is point by point, guys. You just watch it, guys, and don't feel obligated or pressured to apply it because this requires a lot of practice. Young CEOs need to earn respect. Older CEOs are highly respected. The third point of similarity, skill set. Young CEOs are tech savvy and current. Older CEOs are need retooling. The fourth point of similarity, energy level. Young CEOs, young CEOs have more energy. Older CEOs are less energetic. So if you notice, guys, older directors have strong points in experience, respectability. Younger directors have strong points in skill set and energy level. So it's the same thing, guys. We are still confronted with a dilemma. Both sides are equally strong. I wonder how this was resolved. Let's see how it works, guys. The point by point experience. Ooh, look at that. It waves, guys. Did you see the wave? Woohoo! It's a wave. Woohoo! Okay, let's look at the essay. The point by point. It goes. Oh, the intro is so different. It goes without saying that an organization is only as good as its leader. That's the hook. However, a controversy arises as to whether or not older or younger company directors would perform better in leadership roles. That's the paraphrase. In order to arrive at a clearer picture of who's who, it's best to look into 4 leadership criteria: leadership skills, experience, respectability, and the energy level at work. That one is the forecast statement. There is no thesis statement. The thesis statement is withheld to keep the reader in suspense. To begin with, experience is certainly a valuable asset as any leader could possess. It's because experience is something that can never really be taught in any leadership course. In this regard, older company directors certainly have a strong edge over their younger counterparts, and these experiences feed into their decision-making process, allowing them to make good decisions based on past mistakes. Second body, respectability. Respectability is certainly a crucial leadership attribute as well. In essence, what this means is the leader is able to inspire people to perform up to or beyond par because of the inspiration that the leader provides. Hence, a respectable leader assumes influence and is obeyed wholeheartedly rather than forcefully. Here, owing to their age and experience, older directors again have the advantage, whereas younger company directors may not have the clout owing to their being green. Third body, guys, skill set. Analyzing skill sets of both age brackets is likewise crucial. For example, for younger company directors, while they may lack skills born out of experience, they nonetheless compensate with their technological savvy, an important skill in the contemporary business world. Older company directors, on the other hand, may need to delegate such skills to subordinates, and this would result in added fourth body energy level. When it comes to energy level, the youth hold the upper hand owing to their young, healthy bodies, while older leaders tend to move and think degeneratively or may even fall prey to sickness. This certainly may affect urgent matters needing attention and or decision. So guys, you have the classic dilemma. So this is just similar to the middle of the road or the B style, guys. In the end, considering both sides, you have a balance. And therefore, we just revert back to either the B1, which is the coexist, B2, the it depends, B3, the compromise, or the A2, the kill. There. I think the answers are the same, guys. Deciding on how to conclude a point by point test. At this point, the writer has two advantages for young leaders and two advantages for leaders. This being the case, the writer may settle the issue by using either the straight MOR. So the straight middle of the road is what we now know as a coexist, guys. Clearly, the old and young have their pivotal contributions to a company, but evidently, if to decide between the two age brackets with post problems, then hiring authorities may decide to hire a person who manifests the best of both worlds. A person who keeps the company stable with his wealth of experience, at the same time aggressively guiding the company with a highly contemporary attack attuned to the times. It's the same, right, guys? It's the same from the earlier example. That's what writing does, guys. It makes you a problem solver. Or the writer may choose to settle the issue by using the qualifier that the it depends, guys. Clearly, the old and the young have their pivotal contributions to a company, but evidently, to decide between the two age brackets would depend on the company itself. If the company is youth-oriented, such as Google, for example, a younger director would be most apt. However, if the company were to be fully traditional and needing a stable status quo, such as in the oil industry, then more experienced company directors would be best. Is there a hint whether the best style to use? Um, I guess experience, guys. That's the question of that. Maybe you should try feeding the essay to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is gonna display these styles. It will sometimes use the it depends. It will sometimes use most of the time it uses the compromise, guys. ChatGPT uses a lot of the compromise. Sometimes it uses both. And then or the writer might choose to settle the issue by using the compromise. Clearly, the old and young have their pivotal contributions to a company. This would therefore make it fully ideal if the chairman, despite being young, would be duly surrounded by advisors who are duly older and experienced so as to ensure equilibrium. Hence, with stability combined with a strong eye on the future, the best of both worlds are merged, and the concerned company will be primed to reap the promises of a global world. Maybe, guys, what you should try is to read the free essays and the entries of your classmates. Really nice how they're able to solve those problems using any of these styles. It's really experienced, guys. Like, for example, whenever I see an essay prompt that mentions the word ban, some people think that government should ban all unhealthy products in the market. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Whenever I see the word ban, guys, what comes to mind is always the compromise. Because it's very easy to ban, but there are consequences or repercussions. Can you imagine if you ban all unhealthy products in the market? you're not gonna be left with anything. Everything is unhealthy. Right, guys? That's crazy. Right, guys? Everything has sugar. Everything, right, guys? Even rice has sugar. Even rice is unhealthy. So the only resort is to find a balance. Maybe inform the people, educate the people, stuff like that. Maybe we can tax these high unhealthy products. Right, guys? The compromise is beautiful. Try that with ChatGPT, guys. Gonna solve it for you. What else is there? What's this? Oh, the refute, guys. We're not even done. Oh, this is the kill, guys. This is the kill problem solver. By favoring older company directors, for example. Wow, let's see how this works. Up to this juncture, it can be seen that young company directors hold the advantage of having a very current skill set or computer savviness plus strong energy level. Notwithstanding, it's important to point out that older company directors, being more experienced, are quite capable of picking up on the latest trends in computing technology as well as in other new trends. We kill the advantage of the computer savviness of the young people. This is exactly what their experience brings them. What about the energy level? The ability to adopt and adapt. And as regards to having weaker energy levels, this should not be viewed as a liability given that company directors use mental skills, not physical skills, in performing their duties effectively. We kill the two advantages of the younger company directors, their energy level and their skill set. That's the kill. Let's see the other side of the coin. Oh, there's no other side, guys. At this point, with the issue having been resolved, the writer may now choose to conclude the essay by merely summarizing all the points made in the body paragraph. That is like point by point, guys. Please remember, a point by point essay has no set conclusion. The conclusion ultimately depends on what comes out of the writer's investigation of the points of similarity. I've never had a student who did a point by point. I've had students who did a qualifier. These are the essays I send you in the 20 essay regimen. Students who use the coexist, students who use the compromise, students who use the kill and bury. Nobody has ever done the point by point. Is that the end of it? Oh, we're in the drill sheets already, guys, and this is a new lecture. Just to give you a peek, guys. Oh, hold on, sorry. I pressed the wrong key. Give you a peek. Do we exit? Here, drill sheet. Look at that. See? Wow, look at that. Looky, looky. So many question prompts. Looky, looky. This is really the point where the class becomes participatory. See, this is a discussion in class. Can you imagine how intensive the writing lessons were before? Looky, looky. It's fun. Teaching writing is so much fun. So many samples. Woohoo! The point by point. Looky, looky. Concluding the point by point. And then this one is now task one. And the lesson on task one, guys, is contained in. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The lesson on the introduction is contained in video 18. The lesson on task one. Did you see that? Oh, what a linguistic perspective of task one writing. That's in video 19. Again, again, again. The lesson on the intro is in video 18. The lesson on task one is in video 19. Oh, let's discuss this. Some other time. There are animations there, guys. Woohoo! So nice. I was such a good employee. I was such a good employee of JRooz. Look at that. Look at the things I did for the company. Okay, and then there's task 1 GT. And then T, the linguistic perspective, left side of the brain, right side of the brain. And then letter to the landlord. See, 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 see. Oh my God, worth the money, worth the tuition fee. And then that's an example. Okay, and then before we conclude, let's now see. I will sample to you ChatGPT, guys. So do you see this one? So easy, one-sided. Just
Sir, tapos, ay, thank you, sir. Sir, ganun na ba kayo? Okay.
wait,
Akala ko,
unmute.
sir, baka sa elevator. Sige, sir, salamat po.
Salamat, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. And you were on mic. Okay.
Sir, sorry po.
Bye, sir. Ingat, sir. Guys, let's sample one. This one, you want? The rise of social media platforms has made it easier for people to vent their frustrations and complaints publicly. What is the consequence of this trend? Is there any benefit to expressing complaints on social media? Hmm. You wanna do this, guys? No, we already did this in a free essay. I wanna cross over, guys. Two sides of an issue. Hmm. Positive or negative? Guys, take a look at this one. Huh? Just take a look at that one, guys. We already did this as a free essay, guys. Did we? Yeah, we did. We did. Just check that out on IELTS Einstein, guys. Teenagers have not been following rules in their parents' advice. Is this good or bad? You want that? This one, we did this as a free essay, guys. Guys, you gotta read the free essay. Hmm. I want to cross over. I want a crossover. And this one you want? This was also a free essay, guys. This one.
Julie,
Yeah.
sir, meron bang possibility na lumitaw yung, meron kasi ako nabasa kayo
Yeah,
ano
yeah, yeah.
yung solar something ba yun, sir, na mawawalan internet for 1 month. Lalabas kaya, possible ko lang, sir.
You mean lumabas na siya before?
Hindi po, yung parang arising issue pa lang yun, sir. Parang solar something na pwede mangyari tapos pwedeng ma-disable yung internet sa buong mundo pa a month or a year pa daw.
I think that won't come out.
Parang
That's
bago nga yun, sir.
science fiction.
Ay,
That one won't come. Solar flares. What about this one, guys? This one was already assigned as a free essay as well. Let's try that one, guys. Try that one. People are chatting. Okay. Before we stop the recording, guys, I gotta show you how ChatGPT writes, because ChatGPT really conforms to the rules. So we're gonna instruct ChatGPT, please write a band 9 IELTS essay on this topic. There. It is a natural process that animal species become extinct as the dinosaurs did in the past. There's no reason for people to prevent this from happening. So ChatGPT is going to mention the agree, and then he's gonna proceed with the disagree, guys. It's gonna do the kill for us. There. There's his agree arguments up there, guys. There. So intro. In the ongoing discourse surrounding the extinction of animal species, the notion that it is a natural process akin to the demise of the dinosaurs in the past has sparked considerable debate. While some argue that there's no reason for people to prevent this natural phenomenon, I vehemently disagree. So it's a kill, guys. I believe that it's our moral duty to intervene and actively work towards preventing the extinction of the species for the well-being of our planet and future generation. Remember, there's no such thing as a disagree, guys. It always begins with the agree. That's the one that Chad did. Firstly, the argument that extinction is a natural process is undeniable. Throughout Earth's history, countless species have come and gone, and the survival of the fittest has been a driving force in shaping the diversity of life. That's the kill, guys. There it is. However, the current rate of species extinction is alarmingly high and primarily driven by human activities such as habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change. Unlike the natural extinction events of the past, the current crisis is anthropogenic. What on earth is that? Maybe we should ask chat about that. And we bear a significant responsibility for it. What does anthropogenic mean? What does it mean, chat? Oh, something originating from human activities or being caused by human influence. Whoa, what a nice word. Let's use that as the word of the day, guys. Word of the day. So guys, that's the kill. There it is. Kill that argument. That's the primary argument, right, guys? ChatGPT killed it right here. Aaron, are you there? That's the kill, Aaron. Did you see? Aaron,
Yes, sir.
the kill.
Yes, sir.
And then chat is gonna have another argument. Remember, guys, this is the argument for the agree, right? That's the argument for the agree. And then he killed the argument for the agree. The agree is gone. Do you follow, guys? The agree is gone. And then this is now the disagree argument. Because ChatGPT is disagreeing, right, guys? That's the classic kill and bury. See, that's the only argument for the agree. The sole argument for the agree is there. And then he just killed it right away. Dead. You're dead in the water. And then he's not yet satisfied. He added another argument in favor of preserving animal species. The interconnectedness of ecosystems highlights the profound impact that the loss that even a single species have on the entire ecosystem. Oh my God, man. It is dead. I mean, the argument of the agree side is completely dead. It's killed and it's buried. Each species plays a unique role in maintaining the delicate balance of nature, and the extinction of one can trigger a cascading effect, leading to the decline of others. The loss of biodiversity not only compromises the resilience of ecosystems, but also threatens essential services such as pollination, water purification, and disease control, upon which human survival depends. Oh my God, guys, why are we even talking about this topic? He just completely murdered the thing. Oh my God, it's not yet done, man. See? Oh my God, you write that kind of essay, guys. This is the classic kill and bury. As stewards of the planet, we have a moral obligation to protect and preserve the incredible diversity of life. The ethical argument goes beyond the pragmatic concerns of ecosystem stability and extends to the intrinsic value of each species. Our capacity for understanding the consequences of our action and the potential to mitigate them set us apart from other species. To knowingly allow the extinction of species without taking action is a betrayal of our role as custodians of the earth, as God Himself assigned to Adam and Eve. Oh my God, in Genesis. How can you even argue against that? In conclusion, party, party, preserve the animals. Woohoo! Kill and bury, guys. Can you imagine he already killed this argument, guys? That one. That's the agree argument. Chat already killed it. It's dead. With that argument, it's dead. But he wasn't satisfied. He went even further. He argued something else. There are other reasons there. Blah, blah, blah. And then he wasn't even done yet. It's really a band-aid essay, guys. Come on, man. Why are we even talking about this issue? Ooh, that's the beauty of chat, guys. That's chat GPT. It is a supreme proof of the intelligence of this artificial intelligence entity is able to write these kinds of essays, right? That conform to the 7 essay approaches that we discussed previously. That's the ultimate test. Can you write an essay on this? And then it did. It just did exactly the kill and bury. Powerful arguments, guys. Why don't you use this app? What's wrong with you people? People, what's wrong with you? You better use this tool, man. I'm gonna make that another free essay again. We will make this a free essay again, guys. Again, I will make it mandatory for everybody to write. When was this, guys? Oh my God! I hope this question comes out again, man. I'm gonna murder it. I'm gonna murder it. Yeah, it's true. There have been mass extinction events in the past. Mm, but the rate of extinction today is unprecedented. It is anthropogenic. What's the word? Anthro. What's the word, guys? Anthro. What's the word? Anthropogenic. Okay, guys, that's your assignment. Kill and bury. Again, began with the agree, right? See what I mean? You believe me now? Ha ha ha. There's no such thing as a pure disagree, guys. You always begin with the agree. And then he killed it, man. He killed it. It's dead already. There, kill, kill, kill. And then he's not yet happy with that. He went further. He had another very powerful argument, difficult to refute. And then he's not even finished with that. He had another third argument, difficult to refute. And then the conclusion is just a summary of everything. Use ChatGPT, guys. What's wrong with you? Are you too proud? Too proud to admit that AI is more intelligent than you are? Come on, people. The beginning of wisdom is in intellectual humility. Yeah, man. Being you humble enough to admit that you do not know everything. All right, that's gonna be our next PSA, guys. Okay. Did you understand, Ma'am Daiki? Kill and bury. Kill and bury. Kill,
Here po, understood po.
kill and bury. I'm gonna send this to you guys. I'm gonna make this the red. No, I'm gonna make this the blue. So that you will clearly see the agree argument is blue. Right, guys? Blue, 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 blue. There. Oh my God, man. Blue. And then we're gonna kill it with the red, man. Yeah, man, you're dead. All blood and gore. Your head, you are decapitated. There's no sign of life. And then we're not even done yet, guys. We are not done. We are not even finished. Green. Green, 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 green. I hope that comes out, guys. There, we're gonna save this. ChatGPT. Mm, Hill and Birdie rendition of ChatGPT. Guys, you just feed any of the IELTS topic prompts, you will see chat will comply to either of those. It's gonna write an it depends, gonna write a coexist, gonna write a compromise, gonna write, a kill and bury, stuff like that. And then the arguments, they're solid, solid, good, solid, good, solid, good, unbeatable. Okay, that ends our recording. So guys, I'll make this a free essay. Please write this, guys. All right. I will save this and then I'll send it to you. Okay. And we're ending the recording. Exactly 2 hours for today, guys. We learned so much, guys, in 2 hours. What a productive day. But can you imagine how we capped the discussion by taking a look at ChatGPT and then we were just blown away by the intelligence of this incredible invention? Let's put there ChatGPT. ChatGPT. There. Okay. Wait,
We're
where
still
did that?
recording, sir.
Am I still recording? Wait. I'll just save
Yes.
this guy. Okay. There's ChatGPT. And then animal extinction. Hold on, guys. Then K and B. There, Aaron loves that style, kill and bury. So Aaron, write that essay, okay? All right. Kill and bury rendition of ChatGPT. Hold on, guys. Stopping the recording.